Okay, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Chassidus in the Morning. 15 minutes to change your life. Learning a maamer on Purim. Maamer is going to rock our world. This share is the Ilul Nishmas Chaim ben Shimon Yisrael Halevi Yishichya Refuah Shalema and Yosef Simcha Chaim ben Sarah Chana. That everyone should have Refuah Shalema. And thank you for the sponsorship that can make these shirim happen and the magic happen. Okay, so we're starting a new series. We're learning a maamer on Hanukkah. On Purim. The story is like this. A little preface to the maamer. This maamer was the second maamer said on Purim in Tashni Gimel 1953. It was the second maamer. The Rebbe didn't normally say two maamer on Purim. And there's a story that connects with the maamer. And essentially, so the story is connected. So they say this maamer is connected with the death of Stalin. And so this was like a known thing by the Chassidim, but it was never official. And then when they went to publish it with the Rebbe Magia to look it over and check it over, which was sort of the Rebbe's, seal of approval, they wrote in a whole little thing that we'll read, connecting it to the death of Stalin. And the Rebbe left it in, and he didn't argue with it. He didn't say it's not true. This is sort of the proof. So in the Farayan, there's a story the Rebbe brings down. So today we're gonna read the story from Teres Menachem, and then we'll start with the maamer. So the maamer essentially the central idea of the maamer is that the question is asked. We make a girl. We say what's Purim is called Hashem Purim. Purim is called because of the Purim, the lottery that was made by Haman to destroy the Jewish people. So the Rebbe asked a simple question: what was Haman thinking exactly? How is he going to destroy the Jewish people? So ultimately, the Rebbe explains that Haman, he wasn't stupid, he was smart, and he realized that in Sedish Tashlis, by nature, the way the world is set up, we Yidden are never going to get destroyed. It's just against the whole setup of the world. So that's not going to happen. So what happened? So he decided to make a girl. A girl is a lottery. A lottery means chance. Less and in a deeper meaning, it means we're going to a level of above nature, above Sedish Tashlis. Now, on that level, everyone is equal. It's, so to speak, like if you have two pets, so every pet has a difference, and then it makes a difference in your life. But you have, let's say, two ants across the street from you. You don't think about them at all. They don't take them. Doesn't make it. None of them make any difference to you. So where the one ant, is successful, the other one, it's irrelevant to you. And what Haman was trying to achieve was to reach that level, and he did succeed of reaching that level. But the question is, why wasn't he successful in destroying the Jewish people? And ultimately, the Rebbe says that even on the deepest levels of godliness, that was so insignificant, and a Jew that Hashem that Hashem wants to desire a world down here that's based off us and our avodah, and a person that does totally the wrong things. You go high enough, they're irrelevant. Like the two ants across the street are irrelevant to us. But even on that level, where we're so insignificant, so irrelevant, God still chooses us. Where it's in the DNA of the world that we're always going to be successful. Meaning we're not going to get destroyed. And that's what happens. And it's a powerful message to us. There's two types of memorim in general. One of them focuses on avodah, on something to be doing. The other one focuses on an idea. And you think about it. Ultimately, when you think about it, it brings you how to apply that. But this maamer is very much a thought maamer. That it's meant to change the way you think about yourself, the way you look at yourself. Now, once you look at yourself differently, so you act differently. But the focus of the maamer is how we think and how we see ourselves and see the world around us. And I wish everyone hatzlacha in this journey of ours. And now we're gonna start. So he says here it's brought down. So in the notes of the maamer, it says this maamer was brought out, was like published, meaning with being edited from the Rebbe in Tafshin Nun Aleph, 1991. The Karsim Purim, Abalim Teva, to the days of Purim, Yud Aleph Adar, Tafshin Nun Aleph. That's when it was brought out. The maamer is called Al Kein, Tafshin Yud Gimel. And we're going to put up English translation On the Libre Chassidus WhatsApp. You can be spread out. You can ask someone for it. Ask my wife Michal. So this maamer was said. A maamer Sheni, the second maamer. Shnei b'Yisvadas Purim. That's said on the Farbrengen of Purim in that year, 1953. It was connected, Kanira, seemingly, with what had happened in those times. Now, what happened in those times with Stalin? Stalin was crazy. His communism was going wild, and he was destroying people, and he's literally killing people. And he had a plan to basically to exile all the Jews, and this is after the Holocaust. 1953, he had a plan to get all the Jews into a certain area and move them all there and just destroy them. And he'd gone crazy, and then the politics is going on. And when you have any type of leadership, whether it's capitalism or communism, there's always someone on the top that leads. So in the communism, he's leading, but everyone wants the power. So there was a lot of things. I looked it up to understand this verse. I looked it up a little bit. And basically, right around this time, I think he had I think it was like a stroke. They didn't even come to him because I was so scared of him, and he could just kill anyone. So what they did was, they didn't hear him for like a day or two, and he was like depressed and he was bored, and he invited all these people over to like have parties. But even those people that he was very friendly with, he took them away from their position of power, and he was worried about getting assassinated. It was a whole crazy situation. Some people say he was poisoned. Basically, what happened was he was sick right around this time. There was no one's answering. No one heard anything from him in his room, but everyone was too scared to go in. And they knocked and didn't answer until hours later they came in. And they saw him on the floor, and he had like a stroke or something. So that's the date. I checked it up. The date is exactly on Purim. So interesting. So this is connected. So the Rebbe saying that this maamer, the Rebbe said a second maamer, which didn't normally happen. The Rebbe is saying, and it's connected with this whole incident happening with Stalin in Russia. The Mapulasa shel Hamoshel the Medina until the falling of the ruler of that country. Shahaya Tzera, you saw that he was Tzera. He was like punishing. He was making life difficult for the Jewish people. As we understood from the time Yasipur, from the story Shesiper. The story the Rebbe said. And as a preface and connected to this maamer, like the story of Rabbi Shab, so, and I'm going to explain. So basically, I got it from the Sikha and I downloaded it, and I'll read it short. And this is the story that the Rebbe brings in the Sikha. So remember, this maamer we're going to learn is the second maamer the Rebbe said on that Purim. Now, in that Purim, the Rebbe said a story, a very interesting story that's connected with this whole thing about the Stalin passing away. So the Rebbe Amar maamer Sheni said the second maamer that we're going to learn. Dear Master Al Kein Karul Yom Me'ela Purim, and Ukakdama Vasmichas Amir maamer, and the preface and connected to the maamer Kasher. Kasher Ritzinos Udvekos Miuchedes Nira Alpi Kadshay. It was very serious in the maamer. And you can see something was like happening. Pasach Admer Shlita V'Siper. The Rebbe opened up and he said, "But Kuvas Hamaficha Berussia, when I guess when communism came in, probably that's what it was. La'ache Mafalasa Shel Kaiser, after the Kaiser was like destroyed. Basically, communism took the Russian was run by like a monarch, and that was the Kaiser, and he was destroyed with the communism. Hira, Admir Ashab, the Rabbi Ashab said, "Just aid in the Chassidim to the Chassidim lishtatev b'chirais shenerchu b'medina." There was they're having what's the name? Bechira, like when you have voting. There was voting happening. And so the Rabbi Shab said to the Chassidim to vote, which in those days wasn't, the Chassidim were totally, what was going on. They were totally disconnected from these types of things. So one of the Chassidim He also went to go vert. That's what he got told. Shaya mufshat legame mi havius ha'elam. He was totally he's totally separated from the world. He had no clue, nothing about voting, about anything. He didn't know. But the Rebbe tells me to go vote. I'm going to vote. He didn't know what's going on in the country. He didn't know anything about communism, whatever it was. He was just totally oblivious. But the Rebbe tells me I'm going to do something, so I'm going to do it. So what does he do? We can move on, and it's understood. So he went to the mikveh. He put on his gartel to go vote, because this is what the Rebbe is telling him. I have to go vote. So you do it as the sheikh of the Rebbe. This is you prepare yourself. Then he went to vote. Did what he had to do to vote. As his friends told him what to do, but he had no clue what to do. So he said, hey, what does Rebbe need us to do? He said, go to vote and then put this guy's name down and tick him off. And that's what he do. That's what he did. So he saw people, when he came out of the voting polls, there were people like chanting. What do they say? They're saying hoorah. So hoorah, the part like hooray. But the Rebbe said this, and hoorah also means he is bad. Hoorah. But Ahmad Gamhu, he also, this chassid also, he followed along. His vikr is hoorah, hoorah, hoorah. And he said it 3 times. The Rebbe said it 3 times. And what happened? And this is by the happening at the bringing. What happened? Kol hamasubvim. Everyone stood up. They said emotionally, hoorah, hoorah, hoorah. Now all the chassidim at the bringing screamed out this 3 times. He's bad, he's bad. And umiyad la'acher zen, immediately after this, Pasach Kodesh Admar Shlita Amar Esamayim. And after this, then the Rebbe started the maamer that we're going to learn. So this maamer is connected to the whole thing that's happening. So you can imagine you're in 770, and the Rebbe's telling you a random story. He's pulling you out of left field, and you're screaming hurrah. You don't know what's going on, but you get something's going on massive. And this time they're saying another maamer, like, whoa, what's going on? And this is the maamer that we're learning. And it's all connected with this destruction of Stalin. Yeah, and then after the maamer, Tiva Kodesh Admar Shlita, the Rebbe he asked the Nagin Nigun Shlosh Tnuos to sing the song of the 3 Tnuos of the Baal Shem Tov, the Rabbi Magid and Admar Zakin, Alter Rebbe. And then he said the Nigun Admar Zakin, Alter Rebbe's Nigun, the Dal Bavis, the Tziva Lekafa Bavaris, the 4th stanza. He said you should sing it. He motioned to sing it 3 times. Again, 3 times, and then they sang Nezri Klapsi, the song after the maamer. And this is what happened. So this is sort of the preface to this whole situation. Yeah, and that's the maamer. That's the preface to the maamer. It's now 8:00, and so I guess we'll start tomorrow the actual inside the maamer. But with this preface, I'm hoping we'll all get pumped to learn, and hopefully, I remember I learned this years ago, and it brought me on fire. And with this hachana, Shamas Avarchim Adar. We should appreciate what we're going to learn here, and we should take it in to our hearts to be continued tomorrow. Thank you everyone for joining, and have a great day.